All right, in this week's segment, local history expert John Hennessy is going to talk about the National Military Cemetery behind me at Maurice Heights, and an important event that occurs here every Memorial Day weekend. All right, so our final stop on the tour is on top of Maurice Heights. John, tell us a little bit about what happened here at Maurice Heights and the type of programming that y'all do up here.
Right. Maurice Heights is two things. One, it's part of a battlefield, and was key to the Confederate position here. The heights were lined with cannon in December of 1862. But this section of the heights is different now. After the war, the federal government created the Fredericksburg National Cemetery here. And they collected the Union dead off of all of the 4 battlefields from all the campgrounds in the region. And all about 15,000 men were laid to rest here in 1866, 67, 68. Today, of those 15,000 men who are buried here, we know the identities of only about 12,800 of them. So more than 80% are unknown. So you walk the cemetery, you know, we have headstones like the upright ones here that give you the information we know about what's in that grave. And then you have the flat square ones, which simply indicate a grave number and the number of men buried in that cemetery. Every Memorial Day weekend, the community comes together here, and what is probably the biggest volunteer event in the Fredericksburg region every year. Hundreds of scouts and volunteers come here, and on usually the Saturday night of Memorial Day weekend, they illuminate 1 candle for every person buried in this cemetery. More than 15,000 candles spread across this landscape. It's a spectacular event. Bugler plays taps every 30 minutes. It's a reflective event. It's a community tradition going on now for, I think, 23 years. My wife comes every year, and every year she cries. And if you haven't been to it, it's got to be one of the top 5 must-do things in Fredericksburg, and it's worth coming from a distance to see it, because you're not going to see something like this. It is a powerful event. Every year we get anywhere between 4,000 and 8,000 or 9,000 people who come out for that event. So we're proud of it. The community's proud of it. The scouts are very proud of it. School kids place the flags. Scouts place the candles, and they illuminate them that night. And then the cemetery is open for people to just wander through, and they do by the thousands.
Yeah, I've been to the event myself. It really is a great, powerful event, and so definitely come check it out. Memorial Day weekend, but really this is a beautiful place and an important place in American history to come visit anytime. You've probably driven by it a million times on Lafayette Boulevard, but be sure to come check it out. You can go to the Visit the Battlefield Visitor Center is right down the hill from where we're standing now. Plenty of parking is available, so hopefully this has given you some insight into the tremendous asset that we have right here off of Lafayette Boulevard here in the city of Fredericksburg. And John, we appreciate the time that you've taken to tell us a little bit of the history today.
Glad to be here. This is one of the rare places whose local history reverberates across the national landscape.
Absolutely. Well, thanks, John, and great job for everything you and your colleagues at the National Park Service do for our community.
Thank you very much. It's our privilege.
Yeah. All right, well, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.